Hey guys, Matt here. So a few of you had some questions for me about, what sort of budget should I be doing for my ads? Why are my cost per clicks going up? Why are they going down? So hopefully this video can provide you with a little bit more clarity on how that works. So firstly, let's talk about this situation. So we've got Bob and Joe here. Okay, so if we're talking about how our clicks can sometimes be higher if we bump out our budget, I'll explain how that works. So we got Bob here. Let's say hypothetically it costs about 10 cents to get your ad in front of Bob. Now, why does it cost 10 cents to get that ad in front of Bob compared to Joe, where Joe costs literally a fraction of a cent? It's simply based on that individual user, okay? So Facebook has billions of users across its platform, and each user essentially has a dollar value associated with them and their profile. It's just based on what you do on the platform. So let's say Bob, he clicks a lot. He clicks a lot of ads. He may tag a lot of friends. He's very engaging on Facebook. He may buy a lot of stuff online. He may opt in for things a lot. Okay, all that sort of stuff. These are valuable actions that Facebook deems as valuable. So essentially, Bob is a much more higher value person than Joe, who is a Facebook hermit. Joe doesn't really do much. He doesn't click. He just essentially just scrolls. Doesn't do anything. He doesn't even tag his friends. He's a loner. So that's why Joe has a very low dollar associated value with his Facebook profile. So when you have your ad campaign budget set at, let's say, just $10 a day, that's telling Facebook to spread out that $10 across a 24-hour period. So they're only going to be able to put you in front of lower value people to be able to give you a reasonable amount of exposure that you're happy with. Okay, so they're only going to put you in front of the Joes, right? Now that may get you some cheaper leads, but in some situations, because it's putting you in front of people that don't opt in for things a lot, don't buy a lot of things, you actually may not get many leads, okay? And now at the other end of the scale, if you go to Facebook and say, hey, I want to spend $1,000 a day on my ads, they're going to be able to put you in front of the more expensive people, okay? They'll be able to put you in front of the Bobs. Now, it's going to bump up your cost per lead, bump up your cost per click, because every single person it's putting you in front of is much more expensive. Hopefully that makes more sense. Now, when it comes to what budget should you do, the rule of thumb is you try and start low and then slowly scale. Now, don't go nuts. So if you've started your budget at $20 a day and you all of a sudden bump it up to $100, that's going to throw Facebook's algorithm completely out of whack. So that's going to, instead of put you in front of these sort of people again, it's going to all of a sudden throw you to the other end of the spectrum. And because the way that ad's been learning has been based around these sort of people, it's not going to work anywhere near as effectively. Okay, so rule of thumb, try and keep an effective ad that's actually working alone, okay? And then just duplicate it, okay? And if you want to increase the budget of the duplicate ad, you can. All right, now, other situations. So you may have your ad over here and you may have someone else's ad. So let's say it's a competitor's ad. Your ad, advertising to said target audience, is, for some reason, it's $5.50 a click. But their ad, advertising to the same people, is 50 cents per click. Why is that? So it can be a few things, okay? So maybe their targeting is really, really good for their sort of offer, okay? Maybe your targeting is really bad for your sort of offer. So your offer isn't resonating with that target audience. Their offer may be, okay? You could just have a bad offer, and the competitors may have an irresistible offer, okay? Your budgeting, again, may be a little bit out of whack. So their budget may be a little lower or a lot higher. And yours may be, again, a lot lower or a lot higher. And that will, again, adjust your cost per click. So if you have a really, really high budget, your cost per click is typically going to get a bit higher. Also, another way that your ad's cost per click will go higher is that no one's simply clicking on your ad. The less people that click on your ad, the higher cost per click it's going to be. And on the other end of the spectrum, you've got the competitor's ad where they're getting a lot of clicks and therefore the click cost is driving down. And simply competition. Okay, you may have a ton of advertisers advertising to one target audience. And if you have a ton of people all bidding to get exposed to this target audience of people, that's going to drive up the average cost per click. Okay, so at times where there's high competition, such as this time of the year, it's almost Christmas, there's a much higher level of competition. A lot of people are trying to get out their ads. A lot of people are trying to sell Christmas-based products or services. So there's much more advertisers currently on the platform. So that's going to drive up your cost per click a little bit, okay? Now, how do you combat this? Again, you can play around with the budget. You can have a lot of different angles, have a really good offer. Maybe it's something as silly as your ad image just doesn't resonate with your target audience. Maybe you need to test all these different things. So the best way to do it is what I just said, just test, okay? Low budget, test a couple of different things. So test image, test video versus image, test a low budget versus a higher budget ad. Test slightly different target audiences. You may not find the perfect target audience for 3 or 4 times. You can even experiment with such things as lookalike audiences. But hopefully that provides you all with clarity on how Facebook charges you as an advertiser. And just remember that every single user on Facebook is essentially associated with somewhat of a dollar value to their profile, and you're constantly being bid against other advertisers. So every single second there's thousands and thousands of micro bids going on between advertisers to get their ad shown first in the newsfeed or wherever they're advertising on. So hopefully you've ticked off all these things. You've got really good targeting, an irresistible offer. Your budgeting's nailed, which again, it is tricky to nail that. Hopefully you're getting lots of clicks on your ads because it is, again, an irresistible offer and you've got really good targeting. And hopefully there's lower levels of competition to your targeting. But let me know if this provides any clarity, and if you're stuck with anything, again, let me know, comment below, and we'll help you out some further. Cheers, guys.